kicking off this section with the Telegraph, and it looks like Labour could ban puberty blockers. How are we supposed to screw up our kids now? This is literal trans genocide, Nick.
Good point. And normally we like balance, but I agree with everything you said. Labour moves to ban puberty blockers permanently. So Wes Streeting to agree with Tory ruling on powerful drugs for under 18s as party toughens stance on trans issues. So this is quite interesting, as Streeting has been pretty awful on this issue. He's done a U-turn, really, hasn't he? Seemed to be kind of like...
He transitioned.
Good point. He was sort of mockingly pro all the trans stuff before. He was like laughing at anti-trans people, I seem to recall. Please don't sue me if that's wrong. But I remember he was sort of ridiculing it in the Commons and stuff. Now he's got on board with the Blair agenda to put woke away, which is where Labour's going. But it's kind of weird because Annalise Dodds is so woke on this stuff, and she wants it to be easier to transition. And she, when asked what a woman was, she said it depends on the context, which it totes doesn't. So Labour needs to sort it out. It seems to me like Blair is saying put away the sillier aspects of woke, although the DEI, diversity stuff is still due to Labour changes made on the Blair, I think. And if you go on the Blair Institute website, they still say things like diversity is strength and all that kind of thing. But I think what Blair wants to do, and he said this in his Times article, is sort of not be vulnerable on the kind of sillier aspects of the excessive aspects of wokeness, like the trans stuff. So I think that's what's happening here. They're rolling back, they're toning it down, no pun intended, because of Blair and
Starmer. The thing is, when people start shifting, you've sort of got to let them, haven't you? You can't be all like, you said this a year ago, because we want people to come back,
change their minds,
And you don't want the David Tennant types saying, well, I've done it to my, or I've allowed it to happen in my own family, and therefore I've said it publicly, I can't ever go back on it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've got to, well, not unfortunately, I think we should be gracious about it.
I mean, this is a ban on, I think, private doctors and NHS doctors dishing out puberty blockers to children, which, it sounds like it's just basic common sense to not unnecessarily medicalise children with medicines that can give them, serious, severe long-term effects. Particularly, some of the people who've been medicated with this stuff weren't informed. They were told, it's reversible. Then it turns out actually it gives you osteoporosis. There's a higher increase of cancer. There's various other things. It sterilises you. You can never have children. It's horrific. It's in some ways it's the sort of thalidomide of our generation. But they're still concerned that these drugs can be dished out by activists online.
Yeah, so Helen Joyce, who's the director of advocacy for Sex Matters, who's written about this a lot, she's saying that Wes Streeting needs to go further and rein in the private sale, as you just said. Apparently there's a company in Singapore that can send you this stuff. So it's not even the dark web, it's a company in Singapore. You can buy these drugs online.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I buy all my medical products from online activists.
I just pose. I want to get some steroids to work out in the gym. So I'm just going to pose as an 8-year-old girl who identifies as a boy, and hopefully, some blue-haired freak from Stonewall is going to send me some testosterone.
The only flaw is that you've just announced it on national TV, but otherwise that would have definitely worked.